The redevelopment of 35 Collins and Collins Place is a $60 million refurbishment of the forecourt, podium, on-floor lobbies and services in one of Melbourne's most iconic buildings and public places. A challenge was to show how the sustainable retrofit and adaptation of an existing building can successfully play its role as a workplace in a connected city. So how do we renew and not rebuild? Designed in the mid-70s and finished in 1980, it was marketed as one of the best addresses in Australia. Reflecting this period, it's an example of mid-century modernist approach to the city. It's introverted and internalised. In fact, Ian Pay described the scheme as designed to bring together many activities of the centre city in a concentration and convenience. So you even look at the concept sketch, the buildings are shown as kind of blank faces. Now, since opening 40 years ago, the surrounding city has reactivated streets and laneways in Melbourne, and ways of working have also involved, where there is a need for more communal third spaces to support the working community inside and out. So there's a need to reconnect it back to the city. So we actually started with this image, which is of the Oriente Tower, which was actually on the site before Collins Place existed. And it was refurbished in the 1950s and was the first place in Melbourne you get on-street dining and having this engagement with the street. So how can we bring back this kind of social engagement back to the pericentre of Collins? So our concept was simple, really, to look at the base of the building. How can we make an introverted scheme an extroverted scheme? How do we carve out? How do we open up? How do we break through and bring visual transparency inside and out through the building? To move from something like this. So our initial scope was actually just to look at the lobby, but actually we started investigating the podium and realised there was actually 2 floors of offices for the Sofitel behind those blank panels. So could we just open up the scheme to bring it to something like this? And to bring an interaction between the building and the forecourt, so there's a natural visual connection through the building inside and out.
Thanks, Simon. So the forecourt is a unique space within Melbourne and has evolved over time, starting out life as a kind of more traditional commercial forecourt arrangement, and then evolving to have fixed seatings, which inhibit the uses that it provides to the complex. So it's used for various events throughout the year. Our approach was to create a new address for the complex and revitalise the forecourt as one of Melbourne's unique urban protected rooms, designed to be contemporary, flexible, public plaza type space. So refurbishments included new paving, restoring the space frame with integrated lighting, recladding the central column with new wayfinding, and softening the edges to Collins Street with the existing egress stairs with landscaping and integrated seating. Another key component to the design of the forecourt was the removal of all fixed elements within the space, and we designed a suite of custom modular furniture that was complementary to the lobby refurbishment and also acted as an extension of the workplace into the public realm. And these were able to be configured in numerous ways to facilitate activity throughout the day, for formal meetings, more formal arrangements, facilitate markets, sporting events or entertainment viewing, and even larger events like the Melbourne Fashion Week and that sort of thing. So it's bringing the flexibility back to the forecourt that it never really had. But how the forecourt engaged with the edge of the tower was also very key to the redevelopment of the lobby and the podium. The approach was to create a more civic edge that facilitated the interaction between the forecourt and the new lobby, with a new food and beverage offering, bringing back that dining to the pericentre of Collins Street in connection with the outdoors. And the existing lobby was quite introverted and had little connection to the forecourt, and very dark and didn't really facilitate new ways of working. But the architectural response was really about creating scale and volume, so creating a lobby that the tower deserved. Extending the lobby beyond the ground plane, so finding new opportunity to connect to new program across multiple levels that supported the workplace. And then these new layers of program were enclosed with a single transparent glass volume that allowed daylight to fill all levels. And the other really important aspect was just respectfully expressing the strong architectural language of the building by removing solid elements and opening up the facade as much as possible. So the new volume is actually set back within the existing precast concrete frame. which was previously quite flat. So we're really interested in creating depth and tactility to the new lobby entry experience and this sort of threshold between inside and out, but really expressing this strong architectural language of the complex. The new internal volume sort of reimagines what a lobby experience is like in connecting lots of various types of program together. And instead of considering it as 3 separate levels, it was considered as a volume in itself, so all completely connected and open and coherent. The 3 levels are fairly straightforward in terms of their openness. So the ground floor was completely opened with a new future F&B tenancy provided provisions for that on the corner, and a new entrance through to the great space. That was connected via a large void by removing some existing structure to level 1, which is a bit more informal, communal meeting spaces. And then level 2 is actually set back again as a mezzanine, which houses more private, premium, enclosed meeting spaces. Thank you. So moving into the lobby, basically the idea was just to open up, fill it with daylight, and use a really kind of considered premium materials in a really refined way, and really connect across multiple levels. So the lobby features a range of spaces defined by different material palettes, so more private, introverted spaces, as well as open daylight filled spaces. And the way we use materials is really kind of taking a single material and using it in different ways to create different effects and characterize different spaces. So this is the same white Omani marble, but used in different finishes to define different areas. Daylight played a huge role in the new lobby, so the way that it moves across the space is really important. And a new features there, which was prominently positioned on the corner of Collins Street, really celebrates connection and gives vistas across Collins Street as it's traversed internally. Level 1 is a completely open planned with informal and semi-private meeting rooms. Again, it's about visual connectivity to context and also an extension of the workplace. And by setting back the upper levels, we were able to create these moments of double height space and new vistas across the city. And then the central void really connects it back to the ground floor lobby and allows this space to be filled with daylight. In contrast to the stone, we use a much more kind of humane, like warm materials at human scale to create a bit more tactility and warmth, and really interested in how these materials endure over time and build character as they're used more often. So the stair as well provides, as you move up to level 2, this really amazing kind of vista across Collins Street at the landing, which was kind of unseen before. And level 2 becomes this kind of setback, almost sort of loft-like space with this sort of balcony circulation connecting you to the meeting rooms above, and also providing new views across the complex. So we really did take a timeless approach to design the interiors. We designed basically everything from the light, the integrated joinery, all the lighting, the feature pendant light within the lobby, and even the branding for the building identification was all custom designed. So the outcome is really a celebration of adaptive reuse in a commercial environment. It's very, very carefully considered, cohesive and socially sustainable. Allowing an iconic part of Melbourne to re-engage with the evolving city and the next generation of users, ensuring 35 Collins Street will continue its role as a diverse and iconic part of the city of Melbourne for the next 40 years.